Hey, what's up? What's going on, you guys? I am in my bed gear, about ready to go to bed soon. But I was like, you know what? Since I watched the show and I took my notes, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys this recap. I'm gonna edit it, then I'm going to sleep. Okay. So, anyways, it started off with Phaedra and Kenya. They're going on a little trip. The trip that they're going on is to Flint, because Phaedra has a camp there. So what they're pretty much going to be doing is just talking to some of the kids that are there and kind of just spending some time with them. This was what they did the fundraiser for in the last episode. So Kenya was throwing some shade at the bed and the way the cottage looked, and I'm just like, girl, you're doing too much. Like, at the end of the day, these kids have to stay here. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure from the way she talks about how she was poor, you know how it is to have not had the best bed. So you can sleep in a little, you know, not so comfortable bed for a couple of days. It's just, you're kind of making things sound so much worse than it really is. So Phaedra got so many things for these kids for free for the time that they're at the camp. She got kayaking, she got archery, horseback riding, and everything is paid for, which is so amazing. And it's crazy because a lot of these kids, they went through so many issues. Later on in the show, they did talk about some of the things. I know one kid said he never met his mother or his father. Another kid was saying that I think his brother got shot in the head 3 times. Like, just so many things that young kids should not have to experience and deal with. And that's the kind of stuff that you experience in the hood. Just living in, like, you know, the regular hood, like the Bronx, Brooklyn, whatever. Like, a lot of people have experienced those types of things that more privileged kids would not have to ever know about. Like, they would just think that's something you would see on TV or read in the newspaper, but that you don't actually have to experience. But it's real life. And not to mention that their water system is also being poisoned, and the government is really doing nothing to help, but yet everyone wants to talk about the third world countries and how their water system is so horrible and things like that, but it's happening here in our very own United States of America, which is crazy. I just saw a commercial too during this show for Stella water, or Stella, I guess they're a beer. I'm not even sure, but I know they said Stella. I'm not sure if it's water or beer, but they showed that and they said that they're helping to give clean water to third world countries and things like that. And I'm like, what about the people in Flint, Michigan? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to them? Are you helping them out too? I remember they, like, earlier last year, they was talking about the whole Flint, Michigan thing, but it kind of seems like it got swept under the rug. Like, they talked about it for maybe like a couple of weeks, how some of the celebrities was putting water out and helping, but whatever happened to that? You know, it just kind of faded away. But is it fixed? Is everything okay? It doesn't seem so. And a lot of people got serious health issues from that. But nobody, like I said, nobody's talking about it. It's so crazy. Dare I say conspiracy? Anyway, so Porsha's boyfriend, he said that he got reprimanded because I guess they had a picture together on Instagram and it went viral. And although they didn't say they were dating, he got in trouble for it, and they pretty much said either, I guess they gave him the ultimatum, either you gotta choose her in the show, or you gotta, and be in the public eye, or you gotta choose to work here. And from what he said, his boss is very conservative. I guess it's like some high-class job. I mean, he didn't really say where he works, I don't think, or maybe I missed that, but whatever he does is classified top secret, and they don't want him being in the public eye. So it was either her or his job, and he picked her. And she got pissed off. Like, why would you do that? Where is this relationship even going? Like, is this serious? Like, what is your intentions with me? And he, like a fool, this man talking about he don't even know what his intentions are. But yet, I'm assuming he probably made really good money, because she seemed like she was pissed to the max. She's like, you know, you can't even throw this monkey wrench into my dream, which was me and my baby. You threw this whole scenario of you up in here, and you don't even know what your intentions are. Like, I'm a grown woman, and I want to know where this is going. I don't want to just be playing games. And this was very irresponsible of you. And he just seemed like he's like, I don't know if it was kind of like, you know how some people, when they feel some type of way, they giggle or they laugh as opposed to getting upset? I kind of feel like that's what he was doing, as opposed to making a big blow up like some people do. He did like the exact opposite. He was kind of giggling, laughing, and it just makes him seem kind of irresponsible, that I guess he just didn't want to really continue the conversation. So he was just telling her, like, you know, stop worrying about this. You can't live in fear, and he's gonna do what he gotta do. But I mean, I understand her point of view and what she's saying, but I also feel like she was being a little heartless, because he left the job for you, so that must mean he cares about you, and he's, I mean, you know, somebody leaves a good paying job, something that they doing to be with you, then they must be kind of serious some way, shape, or form, you know? So Bob and Sheree, they go out on a date. These two, I swear. I mean, I think she's just with him because she's familiar with him and it's easy. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to get some new D. You don't have to learn somebody's new ways. You know this person's old ways, and hopefully they've fixed some of the things that you actually didn't like about them. But you know what they say sometimes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, I think it depends on the person, because I think sometimes there are certain people that they can actually, if they really want to be with you, they'll fix the things that you despise about them. So anyways, he was like, she said that they did go to Paris before, and they had an argument because he was flirting with some girl. He threw a drink in her face, and they started fighting. Well, she started beating him up. Supposedly, she threw her hands. So I'm just saying, like, is that really what you want to get back into? Like, has he changed that much that you feel comfortable that these types of situations won't happen again? Because it seems like she has so many bad memories, but yet you're going back to that, which is, it just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, man. So, yeah, anyway, she said, like he goes on stage, he does a little sexy for Bob type of dance, and she enjoys it. It was much better than their last date that they had, where they went to some vegan restaurant, which was like more so like if you go into like the fast food restaurant. Like, it wasn't like spectacular or anything. She was like overdressed for it. So this was like getting a step up. Porsha, she had a blackout moment. She fainted in the nail salon. She said it was due to stress, and she has had this happen to her in the past. She said that it's because enough blood doesn't rush, or enough blood doesn't flow to her head. She has been diagnosed, and it's stress that really triggers it. So I'm like, girl, you on the wrong show if you be getting triggered by stress, because these ladies seem to stress you out quite often. So yeah, they said that, she said that, well, what's his name comes over. I'm like muggling and juggling all over the place. Her boyfriend Todd, he comes over. First she was hanging out with Shamia, but then Shamia left because Todd came over. And she said that they haven't been talking for a while because he had one of those, you know, the middle of the night pokes. You want to get that good, you know, trying to give it that deep. And she just wasn't really feeling it. She was just like really tired, and she was over it. So I guess they got into an argument, and I think she said that she left. I think she was at his house, so she left. And she doesn't like that he's just idling around. He doesn't have a job. I think that's the main thing. Like, she don't want a man that doesn't have a job, because right now she's trying to look for a place to live and all these other things, and I think she don't want to be taking care of anybody. She's so used to, before she was taking care of, I mean, what's his name, Mr. Stewart. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. Stewart, he was taking care of her. So it's like, I think that's the kind of thing that she would prefer. You know, she probably doesn't want to have to be the one to now have to pay for the dates and things like that. So, yeah, those are the things that was happening with her. And she just said that she doesn't want to feel like this relationship is a joke type of thing. But she was like, she can't really talk about it right now. She's getting stressed out. She's like, she got to sleep. So she kind of like dismissed him. So he ended up leaving. So later on, Phaedra, she meets up with the ladies, and she just wanted to really thank them for everything that they contributed to the fundraiser. And it seemed pretty cool, like, at first. Until they're all sitting down, and she mentions if they can go glamping, which is like a glam type of camping situation. And they're like, they all seem like they're in agreement. But Kenya brings up that Porsha told her that what's her name? That Phaedra told her that Porsha was in anger management. She wanted to tell all of them about that and just kind of like, I guess, just let them know that she's progressing and things like that. And when she mentioned that, Porsha looked at her like, what are you talking about? Like, I never said nothing like that. And I'm just like, here goes Kenya with the shade. Like, and just like stirring the pot. She knows exactly the things that's going to get this girl upset. But what does she do? She goes ahead and just like pokes. It's like you poking a bear. Just poke. She is the worst. And Porsha said that she felt like she was being ambushed because like everybody started asking her like, yeah, how's that going? How's that going? And she's like, that's not anybody's business. And I never said that I wanted to tell anybody anything. And then Candy was like jumping on it and Cynthia was jumping on it. But it was basically Candy. I just felt like she was doing the most. Like, y'all know I be down for my Candy, but she was doing the most like for no reason. I felt like, why were you going so hard? I feel like she got some other underlying issue going on, which is the reason why she was going so hard. Because usually Candy only goes hard for her family and her man, so I didn't really understand why she was poking too. And Porsha said it. She was just like, I don't know why y'all piggybacking off of her, and if anybody really cared, y'all could have picked up the phone and called me to see what was going on. And then Candy starts, mother effing don't come to me with that piggy bitch, like cursing. Porsha's like, yo, first of all, don't be mother effing cursing at me. There's no need for that. So they having their little riff over there. I'm just like, look, Kenya. And Kenya's just glowing in this, because she's loving it. She is such a troublemaker. Like, she is the one for this. And what happened after that? I think that after that, Porsha was just like over it, and she was just like, she was leaving. So she got up and she went towards her car, and she like dead drove off but the thing about it was Kenya was still following her while she was walking to her car. And she's like, why are you following me? Like, why? I don't never follow you out of anywhere. Like, just leave me alone. It's like she wants to see if she will do something so she can have a big like timeline so she could go viral, because those are the best shows when people get into a fight and then she can play the victim and say somebody did this and did that to her. That's what she does, she's mad manipulative. That's the same thing after what's her name, after Porsha had left, Sheree was telling her like, you provoke people. And then she tries to flip it and say, that's why you got into a domestic violence situation. And she's like, what does that even have to do with anything? I'm telling you what you're doing wrong in this situation and how you tend to provoke people. That's why Matt is like breaking your windows and doing all these things. And she felt like Sheree was telling her that she's the one making him do it. But at the end of the day, you're getting him so pissed off. Like, he seemed like he was a normal guy up until he met her. And I know his family, especially his sister's, probably so pissed off at the way that he's being portrayed. Because I doubt, I don't really know the dude, but he seemed like he was a good guy. But you could tell she's a puppet master, so I don't know really what to believe. Like, I can't take her side as being the victim, to be honest. So, yeah, Porsha ended up actually coming back, like, later on because Phaedra had sent her a text message. So she was like, you know what, I'm going to come back and I'm gonna talk to you because I don't want you to think that I have you in the same melting pot as these other women. But I'm not trying to be around them. She was like, I'm not going back to eat with them. I'm not going back to the table with them or anything else. And she does tell Phaedra that she has to be careful with the people that she hangs out with, meaning pretty much Kenya. Because Kenya is not a good friend. She's a fake friend. She's the one that pretty much started this whole situation and said that Phaedra said these things. So, that's how that went down, y'all. But yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I just feel like Kenya be doing the most, and she she likes to see controversy. This is what like makes her day. But guys, let me know what you think about this episode down below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one.